today. Finally, a reason for people to like Tom Hanks. This is CheckPoint.
Welcome to CheckPoint. We're sorry.
We should not have covered the event about what I thought was an officially sanctioned Sonic the Hedgehog 30th anniversary swag giveaway when it was clearly centered around an obscure Japanese adult novelty store.
It was also a mistake to put up all those unrelated pictures of Big the Cat in the graphics package.
It was at best confusing and at worst hope-inducing.
We're also sorry for lying to you.
Anyway, here's Sex Point. Sure, all of us love video games, but have you ever heard of Playboy? Playboy was known for turning pornography into something classy that high-end businessmen could consume without shame. Thanks for that amazing quote, Giant Bomb. As a franchise, Playboy has made arcade pinball games, a skin mag management sim for the PS2 and PC, a casino game, and a screensaver. But what you've probably never seen before is the handheld Playboy console, so here it is. A little unremarkable, and it also lacks the iconic bunny logo, which makes sense because this little guy is a rare prototype. Literally, it was made by UK developers Rare, who brought it to CES in 1989, the same CES where Nintendo announced the Game Boy. It was ultimately shelved and thought lost until the prototype was lent to the Retro Computer Museum in Leicester, UK. If you'd like to get your hands on a Playboy that your mom won't be angry about, or in, you can see it now at the RCM. Go check their website for details.
Rejoice! There's a new app coming out from beloved Hollywood actor Tom Hanks. But don't worry, this isn't another Jeremy Renner app situation, because Hanx 101 is a trivia game. And it appears to be at least a somewhat thoughtfully designed one because you can issue direct challenges and play with teams. There's also Hanx 101 mode where you have to answer 101 questions in a row, like you're taking a big long test, but for fun. The trivially minded among you will also have noticed the prominent use of a typewriter in the screenshots, which is of course a sly nod to Hank's previous foray into app development, 2017's note-taking app, Hanx Writer. I don't know if any of this is newsworthy, but it is trivial, so if you do good in Hanx 101 mode, you should have me to thank. Or should I say, you have me to Hank.
Hey, do you still itch to plink a plastic axe or smash some silent skins? Well, dig your musical simulacra out of the umbrella stand and fire up the Xbox, I'm gonna say 360, because Rock Band has new DLC. First up are 3 tracks by the one and only Maze. Kanye West's favorite rapper hasn't released a new album in a while, so surely this will include some of his hits, like... Sorry, according to this note, it's, quote, not Maze. It's Mose! Mose Allison, famed jazz pianist, who was once deemed more important than Bob Dylan, will be gracing Rock Band, which is weird because it's not like anyone's ever invented a plastic piano, and... Okay, it's not Mose. Surely then it's Mize. That's right, the London-based traditional Irish music band composed of 6 young musicians and featuring a wide range of instruments. In 2002, they were finalists for the prestigious BBC Radio 2 Young Folk Awards citation needed. Jesus, I'm running out of vowels.
It's Muse! Muse! You pillock!
Muse, right. Yes, they're fantastic. They did an anime song for Knights of Sidonia, right?
If you're anything like me, you've looked at your antique PS2 and thought, you know, maybe I should hang on to it. It's bound to be a collector's item someday. Well, because you, and by extension of this metaphor, me, are both fools. We are mere children compared to a French collector who goes by the handle Cowrie30. Cowrie30 owns one of every video game console ever released, even the Ouya. That's right, over 2,400 consoles, one of everything, every variation of every console, all the different colors, special editions, even unreleased versions that were never officially sold. We, of course, know all about this incredible collection because Cowrie30 is selling it on eBay for the honestly very reasonable price of €984,000. But why? Do they need the money? Did the thrill of collecting wear off after they were finally able to get their hands on a Missoria Dreamcast? Did they break the witch's curse? If you got about $1 million, you can find out.
Man, I could really go for $1 million right now.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you $1 million if you can give me a never-before-thought-of way to spend it.
Oh, wow. Okay, I got a ton of ideas. I drive around town emptying all of the pop machines, one can at a time. Then I'd open my own pop machine kiosk on the wharf for free.
Oh, that was my idea.
Are you kidding me?
Coming up, the curse of success means that Yacht Club Games has been doomed to only make Shovel Knight things for 8 years, but now their new spin-off, Shovel Knight Dig, has a release date, and it seems they finally figured out that their beloved character has a shovel and should use it for shovel things. So Muse. Let's discuss Muse.
Why not? Because I thought literally when I read the story, I'm like, isn't that rapper from the 2000s that is probably about as like stopped making stuff when Rock Band came out?
Good old Mace.
Yeah.
But no, Muse is a band. I used to adore Muse, but the problem with Muse is that they put out, I'm going to say 5 very mid albums.
Ah, okay.
Like, I'd listen
albums that did not get your interest.
Well, okay, so when they started out, I'll tell you, a friend of mine, Marshall Sutcliffe, also used to absolutely adore Muse. But we both listened to Muse at the same time. That was sort of their sort of weird early era. And then they had some sort of radio success, and they thought, gosh, you know what's really great? Making money and playing arenas.
Absolutely.
So they stopped making, like, sort of weird early Muse music, and they started making albums that I honestly all kind of sound the same to me. And lots more people like them now, but they just don't capture my heart.
Right.
So I have stopped listening to Muse because I require several minute long solos in my music, and like you just can't get that in a 3-minute radio bop.
Fair. All right.
Also, the lead singer of Muse is, in kind words, a bit of a Fruit Loop.
No kidding.
They named one of their albums Harp with 2 A's.
Harp.
It's like a conspiracy theory about some sort of like weather changing thing.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he believes in actual, real, legit aliens coming here and scrambling our brains.
Great. Awesome.
I mean, maybe they scrambled his brain. Maybe that's why he's like this now. But if you like Muse, that's fine. They're not for me. If they're for you, great.
You can rock band them now.
Yeah. I don't understand why. Muse also released an album with an NFT, really getting in there.
That's good.
Burn the rest of their goodwill in the independent music community. They're like, we're going to have an NFT album. And it's like, look, even if you hadn't been releasing mid-albums for years, I could care less about this.
Do we have any video game news?
I just wanted to clear that up because it's really, like, personally important to me. Speaking of stuff that makes me happy and isn't related to video game news at all, but is tangentially related to the Muse thing.
Yeah.
Guess who's got 3 albums coming out in October?
King Giz?
Yes!
I was like, who do I know that Kathleen loves that can also make 3 albums simultaneously?
That would, well, I presumably they didn't record them all at once, but they're releasing them all at once. I guess there was a slot open at the vinyl pressing plant. They're trying to I think they're trying to top themselves for annual. How many? No, they've only put out 1 album thus far this year, though. Okay. So it won't be a 5. Anyhow.
It won't be a 5 album year, you think?
For a brief shining window, they announced that they had a big announcement coming up. And when we recorded Tap Tap Concede, which is on our Magic channel, which is youtube.com/LRRMTG, check that out. We had some guests in, and we were talking about bands, because I got to pick the questions, so of course I was going to talk about music. And I was talking about how King Gizzard are a fun band because they release lots of music. And for a brief shining moment, it looked like we got to put a disclaimer on the like the description. I was like, note, between time of recording and time of airing, which is 3 days.
Yeah.
King Gizzard announced 3 more albums.
Nah, cute.
But just a little bit too late because they announced that yesterday. Couldn't you have sped that up so I could make one mid-tier joke in the YouTube description? God, no bands ever give me what I want anymore.
That's the spirit.